The big plans for Europa Park's brand new 2023 roller coaster just got released. I'm going to tell you everything that we currently know about it. Yes, this one's been a long time coming. Europa Park themselves have been teasing a new roller coaster for several years now. Technically speaking, their last roller coaster that they added was in 2016 with Ba Express, although they did redo Eurosat Can-Can coaster a couple years ago. Prior to that, you had Arthur in 2014. That's another family coaster. But if you're looking for the last big thrill ride, it was in 2012 with Woden. So it's about time that this world-class theme park got a brand new thrill ride, and with it being the MACK Rides Showcase Park, I think we all knew that whatever they got would be from MACK, but there's still a couple coaster types that they offer that Europa doesn't have yet. I know some people are speculating that it might be one of their hyper coasters like DC Rivals, or perhaps their extreme spinning coaster like Time Traveler, but it's actually going to be a Big Dipper, much like Lost Gravity at Walibi Holland. I got the chance to ride this coaster back in 2018, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was actually a big surprise for me. I like to characterize this layout as being MACK's take on a Gerstlauer Eurofighter. It's got those small, narrow trains, seats 8 passengers, goes through some compact elements, but this layout is going to be very different from Lost Gravity's. MACK is taking this ride concept to the next level with the addition of launches. Not just one, but potentially 2. These plans were discovered by Europa Park Forever over on Twitter. They are the physical plans that Europa Park filed for all the building permits, different applications and consultations that they had to file to make this ride happen. And while we don't know each individual element that the ride will feature, we can see what sort of layout we're dealing with, and this is going to be pretty much an out and back style ride, but it's going to have some tricks up its sleeve. So if you're unfamiliar with the layout of Europa Park, this coaster is going in what is likely going to be an all-new section. Each area of Europa Park is themed to a different country. The entrance of this ride is going to be between Poseidon, which is in the Greek section of the park, and Euromir, which is in the Russian section of the park. This country is going to be Croatia. The ride is expected to be called Voltron, and the theme, electricity. Nikola Tesla was born in Croatia. He was constantly pursuing ideas of different lighting and wireless electric power distribution, these high voltage, high frequency experiments, and what a perfect theme for a launch coaster. I can totally imagine it having this sort of steampunk feel. And in true Europa Park fashion, there's going to be some dark ride sections, potentially 2, one at the start of the ride and then one in the middle. So let's take a close-up look at these documents. Now, I'm not an expert in reading permits, especially those that are in German, but I'm going to do my best here. The station for this ride is going to be taking up the spot of these satellite dishes that Europa Park removed as part of the theming for Euromir. Most of this layout is going to be taking up a backstage section. They're going to wind the track past a building. You can see this parking lot that's off to the side, and it's going to bump up right against this roundabout. Hopefully you won't notice too much of the backstage area during the layout. We are unsure at the moment how much they're going to dress up that area, but it seems like this Croatia section isn't going to be that big. I mean, it's pretty much just for this ride, unless they're planning on redoing some of the immediate area around it. But this is a pretty tight space to fit in a new roller coaster, and what's cool is construction has already started on it. The planned opening is for 2023. So looking at this, what sort of elements can we expect? If I had to take a guess, these long straight sections that you see are going to be for launches. Typically after a launch, it rises up into some sort of maneuver, maybe an inversion or a top hat. I would expect this ride to go upside down. This moment right here looks like it's going to be a dive loop or Immelman. I would definitely expect some airtime moments. That's one of the key features from Lost Gravity. Europa Park is definitely lacking in the airtime department. You have Silver Star, which is all floater, and Woden has a couple tiny ejector pops, but I think this ride has the potential to deliver the strongest airtime in the park. This section on the far end is what is, I think, the most confusing to me. You can see a building right here. Some people speculate that maybe it's for maintenance. That could be where that potential second dark ride section could be. Another point that I'm definitely curious about is this section of track right here, where it looks like multiple moments overlap. So either there's some sort of switch track, or the track just lines up in layers where you have maybe a turn over top of a launch section. I don't know. We're definitely going to have to wait and see. I think it'd be really cool if this ride featured some sort of turntable, especially if it were tied to a dark ride section. And the people at Europa Park really are so smart with the way that they tie in these different themes with these layouts. Their ride experiences really are fantastic. And so I have faith that whatever they come up with is going to be great. But I imagine we'll get an official announcement from the park later this year, hopefully with some sort of animation. When that comes out, I'll do a full analysis on it. But right now, just my initial overall thoughts based off of this information. I'm just thrilled that Europa Park is adding a brand new thrill ride. I really do like these Big Dipper concepts. Would it have been the type of ride that I personally would have picked for Europa Park? No, I don't think so. Even if I had to stay within the confines of choosing something from MACK, I probably would have gone with a hyper coaster because it would have been different enough from Silver Star. I would love an extreme spinner here, but they do have Euromir, so I wonder if they were trying to avoid going with a spinning ride because of that. But then again, they do have 2 water coasters here, so what the heck, 2 spinners would probably be fine. But regardless, this should be a really cool experience. I like the location that they picked. It's cool to see that they're able to fit in a ride without taking out a ride. And I also like the fact that it's going to be launched. MACK doesn't exactly have the best launches. If you've done Blue Fire, that's a pretty tame acceleration, but this will have more than one. I imagine at least that second one will be a rolling launch, but I don't think it's going to feel too similar to Blue Fire. It's going to be a cool enough ride experience that I think it's sure to be a crowd pleaser. So I want to hear from you guys down in the comments below. What do you think about this brand new roller coaster expected to open at Europa Park next year? Post all those thoughts down below, and of course stay tuned for more rumors and news updates here at Coaster Studios, and I'll see you next time.